Both detective and scientist agreed on the virtual identity of the phrase common to two hellish rituals, so many worlds of distance apart. What, in substance, both the Eskimo wizards and the Louisiana swamp priests had chanted to their kindred idols was something very like this: Finglui Mgla Naf, Cthulhu Relia, Waganago, Fatagan. In his house at Relia, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming. Hello there, fellow travelers. I'm Tim from Secret Fire Books. Welcome back to the Lovecraftian Library, where today I'll be talking about the one, the only, the central pillar of cosmic horror, H.P. Lovecraft's The Call of Cthulhu. Written in 1926, The Call of Cthulhu was first published in the February 1928 issue of Weird Tales. As with many of the author's other short stories, it was initially inspired by one of Lovecraft's dreams, with the story's first chapter being based on a dream involving museum curators and bas-reliefs he had in 1919. Told through the journal entries of a recently deceased New Englander, Francis Wayland Thurston, the story recounts the attempts of Thurston to piece together several peculiar events that he believes to be connected to the mysterious death of his great-uncle, George Angel. A knowledgeable linguistic professor from Brown University, Angel seemingly became involved in a shadowy conspiracy late in life, a conspiracy surrounding the esoteric cult of an ancient being known only as Cthulhu. As Thurston delves deeper into his uncle's misadventures, he gradually uncovers the secrets of a darksome religion. The Great Old Ones, of whom dead Cthulhu is but one of many, have existed long before the first humans crawled upon the earth, and their cultists have always dwelt amongst mankind, operating in the shadows. What's more, these godlike beings are still at work themselves, influencing the dreams of men, and biding their time until the stars align and the world is made ready for their conquest. With several connections to Lovecraft's other short stories, The Call of Cthulhu stands as a cornerstone of the literary mythology which bears its name. Though Lovecraft himself never gave a proper name to this interconnected meta-series, he did encourage other pulp writers, particularly his associates at Weird Tales, to include elements of his writing in their own stories, thereby creating a huge, interconnected, shared universe. Robert E. Howard, Clark Ashton Smith, Henry Kuttner, and Fritz Leiber are just a few of the fellow weird fiction authors who contributed to the mythos. It wasn't until after Lovecraft's death that his friend and protege, August Derleth, first coined the term Cthulhu mythos to describe H.P.'s sprawling body of work, as well as its adjacent fiction. The titanic titular sea god Cthulhu would be referenced in several of Lovecraft's tales, most notably in The Shadow over Innsmouth, in which the narrator even utters the cultic phrase Cthulhu Fatagan. Though they are believed to be two separate deities, Dagon, patron of Innsmouth's esoteric cult of Dagon, is sometimes conflated with Cthulhu, as both bear connections to the sea and the slimy, scaly creatures who dwell within. Due to his otherworldly description in the text, as well as his dark and mysterious nature, Cthulhu has gone on to become an iconic fixture in the greater horror genre, just as much as Dracula, the Wolfman, and Frankenstein's monster. Though the story itself was initially met with middling reception upon publication, it has since gained legendary status as not only one of H.P.'s finest tales, but as one of the greatest horror stories ever written. Cthulhu and his fellow Old Ones have appeared in films, comics, video games, and perhaps most notably, the long-running tabletop RPG that bears his dreaded name. But does it deserve this glowing reputation that it has? Well, I think it does, at least. Call of Cthulhu is an awesome story, and it gives you, the reader, the sense of being an occult detective, slowly piecing together these separate but related incidents into one big, weird narrative. And that mystery-solving aspect would go on to become a fixture of a lot of Lovecraft's other fiction, and it would eventually become part of his legacy, the legacy of cosmic horror. So as much as I tend to be the contrarian with these kind of stories, I can't disagree with the general consensus on this one. Call of Cthulhu is definitely one of Lovecraft's greatest works, and plugging it into the Cthulhu meter, it gets an easy 5 out of 5. But that's all for now, guys. Let me know in the comments, have you read The Call of Cthulhu? What did you think of it? And whatever the case, I hope you'll join me next time when we discuss The Rats in the Walls. But until then, as always, farewell, keep reading, and remember, Cthulhu Fatagan.